we're going to react live pretty much to the EA ratings, okay? So just so people know, the EA ratings, you've already probably seen the wingers. You've seen most of them. The top 50 just released. We recorded this before any of that, okay? So EA actually sent us the ratings so we could do some reactions to this.
What a bunch of beauties.
Right?
Yeah. Thanks, EA.
And we're going to just take a look. Obviously, they've got a bunch of different categories. They've kind of got like top 24, under 24. They've got top wingers, top right D, top left D. They did all that. And then also a top 50. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys actually guess the top 15. So you're going to get number 1. That's an easy one. You don't have to guess the rating, but just kind of say who you think is in what position. When you guess a name, I'll tell you what they're ranked or if they're even on the list. So I don't know. Who wants to say the number 1 one? Because that's the most obvious.
I'm going to go with Connor McJesus.
Yeah. He's number 1.
Yeah.
I think that was a layup.
Now we start to get in the tougher territory.
Yeah. Who's your second guy off the board?
Could be a lot of guys. Could be Leon. Could be McKinnon. Could be Matthews. Do you think it's the cover guy, though?
I do think
I think it's Kale. I think he's second.
Wow!
Which would be nuts.
Kale.
Like, it would be pretty crazy that he's second highest rated player in the game, but I'm going with him.
I'll tell you what. He's tied for second. So
Oh, okay.
They do have on their list, they have him second, but he's tied in rating. So,
Okay.
I'm going to say Leon's tied with Draisaitl.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are 3
Or
for 3.
wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we're howling right
And?
now, Chili.
There's one more tied.
There's one more tied. Wow.
It's
Gotta be.
yeah.
I assume it's Matthews, right?
I think it's McKinnon.
It's your guess. Who
This
are
is
you
so
going with?
tough. I mean, my heart says McKinnon, but I could also see Matthews. Oh, I don't know.
I personally would take McKinnon over Matthews any day of the week.
Man. Okay, let's go McKinnon.
It's McKinnon!
Oh! Yes, I know
Nice
we're not
job.
supposed to bang on the table, but
Nice job.
Yeah.
Just too hyped up.
Matthews is so good, but based on last year, just didn't have a good enough year to be over McKinnon.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
agree with
argument.
that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. He could have been in that same category, but like there's no way that he deserves to be higher than McKinnon.
Yeah,
We're-
like I'd
Yeah.
if
So-
I was making the ratings, I'd put him on par with those guys because he's still like one of the best
Yeah.
players in hockey.
Ryan hurt last year.
Yep.
Yeah. He
So-
is. Yeah. It's basically just because he didn't have as good of a season last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. So then
Yeah.
you're up next. Who are you going with?
How many are there any players tied in this spot? Like how many or is it just one singular player?
The
now?
next spot, there are 3 guys tied.
Okay. Here's where it gets interesting too because we got to consider goalies at some point. I just don't know when. Like Shesterkin has got to be up here somewhere.
Same as Sorokin. He's got to be up there too. Hellebuck's got to be up here, but not quite at this level.
Yeah, I would say like Shesterkin, if this group of 3 has a goalie, it's probably him. But then other forwards, you're talking Matthews.
I think we got to go Matthews in this category. Matthews and Marner might both be in this area, but I think...
Got to go Matthews.
Yeah, got to go Matthews.
Matthews is tied for 10th.
Oh my goodness.
They dropped him far down. Let's get Shesterkin then. Let's get a goalie in here. I don't feel good about it, but they do usually have a goalie pretty high. I'm guessing it's not based on no immediate answer.
Oh, I have another one.
Shesterkin is tied for 15th.
Oh my god, okay.
Okay, you know who should be here? Okay, there's a couple names. I feel like Crosby should be in this range. But I also think that I'm going to go with Adam Fox because he's so good.
Adam Fox is
It's not him either.
tied for 15th.
Wow.
What?
Holy crap.
Oh my god.
Okay. Like, did they just do it with Matthew Tkachuk? Did they just
Oh.
skyrocket him to this group? Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah.
Matthew Tkachuk is tied in that group, but you're still missing 2 other guys.
We should have guessed him earlier. That's my
No,
that
it's not anyone's bad because I think that like he's a really good player, but it's one season. Like
Yeah.
let's see him do it again.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Also, sorry. There was one more guy tied with McKinnon, Draisaitl, and Makar, too, that you're missing.
Oh,
Okay.
No way they would do Carlson. That would be insane.
Eric Carlson?
There's no
They
way.
might. Like if they have Tkachuk this high, they might have Eric Carlson this high.
No way. I don't think you can put Carlson in that same category. Like, especially because defensively, he's just not that good. Oh! I know who. It's got to be Kucherov.
Tied for 6th. He's tied with Tkachuk.
So he's in the Kachuk group. Okay.
Oh, wow.
He was
So
a guy I was thinking of for that group as
Yeah.
well.
So you only got one more guy in the Kachuk group. You got one more guy in the Makar group. The guy you're missing in the Makar group, massive year last year.
Massive year.
His best year, career year.
Career year.
And he's a goal scorer.
Best year. Oh, Pasta.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pasta.
yeah.
Yeah. So hard without seeing like
Yeah,
the
of
teams
course.
in front of you. I'm
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
who are we missing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pasta. That makes sense. That
Barbie
checks out.
girl. Barbie girl.
Oh yeah.
I love that guy.
Not an Oppenheimer guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Definitely a Barbie.
Yeah,
yeah.
Pasta's a Barbie guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
now
know.
we're missing one from Kachuk, Kucherov, and there's one
other.
more there.
Do you want a hint?
Yes.
He's a defenseman.
Carlson. It's got to be Carlson.
Yeah, that's an Insta Carlson.
Yeah.
No.
Whoa!
Yeah.
And it's not Fox.
No. This is one of the weirder ratings, I would say.
Is it Heiskanen?
No.
Uh,
I would say
What?
it's more of I feel like it's more of a legacy rating. Like he's a guy that for years been one of the best defensemen. Probably didn't have like
Hedman.
No.
What?
Excuse me?
Like you'll hear the name and you'll be like, okay, I still think it's like
Well, legacy is like you think Carlson's got the legacy and Hedman's got the legacy too. So what are the
Carlson's
legacy guys?
was like he was
Not
bad
Dou-
for a couple years.
There's no way it's Doughty.
no.
That would be absurd.
that would be nuts too.
I would have expected Darlene to be kind of high, but I mean that's not a legacy pick.
Yeah, especially like he was at the event and everything. A lot of people thought he might be the cover guy.
Yeah, definitely not.
Would have been sick.
Definitely
Maybe
not-
one day.
Like McAvoy would have been a guy who I maybe would have guessed, but,
Yeah, but he's not a legacy guy based
he's
on
not
that
a legacy
hint.
guy.
Like,
He's not a legacy guy at all.
man, this is tough.
What legacy guys are there right now?
You're missing a guy. He's on a boring squad.
The Islanders.
Who do I think is a boring squad?
The Islanders.
The Islanders.
So I always talk up the Islanders. Remember last year I was like,
Oh,
they got
Yossi.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Man, when you said legacy, I'm like,
Yeah.
he's not that old.
No, but
Yeah.
I just mean that like because
So handsome.
a couple years ago it was like, oh, he's like
Yeah.
He's that
top
guy.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
Norris. Like he
Yeah.
was had like MVP conversation, right?
Well, yeah.
Whereas I think
2
that
years
was 2
ago.
years
It
ago.
was
Yeah,
Yeah.
when
Not-
McCarr
not-
won the Norris, it
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
back and forth between them two.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think of it more like I get it. He's still amazing.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
definitely not who you think of as the number 2 defenseman in the league right
True.
now.
Okay.
Which that one threw me a bit.
That is a surprising one for sure.
Okay, so you guys are missing now from the top 15. You are missing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mikko Rantanen.
Rantanen's got to be there.
Yes.
And
Mitch Marner.
No.
No.
Wow, okay.
Carlson.
Mitch Marner is tied for 15th.
Eric Carlson. I'm going to go tied for 10th.
No.
Oh my
Crosby?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
These guys is going out of turn. He's just
That's okay.
Oh,
That's
sorry,
okay.
sorry.
Did you count when we said Hedman? Because I assume.
He's tied for he's tied for 10th.
Okay.
So-
you know what? Maybe an
that's-
underrated one. Braden Point. Did they put him high up?
No, he's like
Oh, I know.
Point is
who.
tied for 15th.
I know who. Jack Hughes.
No. He's
Oh.
he's like one tier below, the tied for 15th tier. Again, I would say same thing. Don't think of guys that were the best last year, but think of guys who are just every year.
Tage
Ovi?
Thompson?
No,
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
every year. You say Tage
Did
Thompson?
they put Ovi up here?
No.
Oh, Patrick Kane? I feel like they love Patrick
That's a crazy
Kane.
one.
No,
No.
I know.
Johnny Gaudreau?
I don't think Kane's not top 50, but the
Okay, that's good.
no, not Johnny Gaudreau.
Panarin.
Crazy enough, Gaudreau's not top 50.
Wow.
Wow.
No Panarin?
Panarin.
Okay,
That
Panarin's
is
one of them?
one of
Okay.
them, and then there's one other guy
Let's go!
In the Rantanen class, you're saying?
in the I don't know if in the Matthews, Crosby, Rantanen, Panarin, Hedman and then there's one other guy.
I'd love to say Kopitar, but I know that the game.
Yeah,
wins
he's
in
not
that
box
respect.
office enough.
He's
Do you
the
want a
most
hint?
box office.
Is it Stammer?
No.
No, do not give us a hint. Well, just tell us what position.
That's gonna
Like,
give
like,
it away.
like
Is it
forward. or
goalie?
D?
It's a goalie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be Shesterkin. No, Sorokin. No.
No, also tied 15th. Sure.
They do this
Tied-
they
him
do
and
this
Shesterkin
every
are
year,
tied.
and I'm sure it's not.
Oh, Vasilevsky.
Yeah. I was going to guess John Gibson because every year when they do these rankings, John Gibson is astronomically higher than he should be.
I don't think he's top 50, but
It's about time that he's not.
you guys have the top 15, or you have the top 15 of the top 50 now. So now we'll just go over. I'm just going to read all the rankings to you, okay? So in order, it goes Connor McDavid, Cale Makar, Leon Draisaitl, Nathan McKinnon, David Pasternak. That's your top 5.
Wow.
97 for just give him a 99.
Yeah, 97 for McDavid, 95.
McDavid probably asked the game to give him 97.
Yeah, he's like, never
Probably.
give me more than a 97. I think that's his highest rating ever.
Okay.
Which
I
makes
like
sense.
that they're pushing
150 point club.
it. Yeah.
Makes sense. And then so those other 4 guys, 95.
Okay.
Then 94s are Matthew Tkachuk, Roman Josi, Kucherov. Then 93s are Crosby, Matthews, Rantanen, Panarin, Vasilevsky, Hedman.
Very surprised about Matthews being a 93. Like, if there's one guy you replace him with, like Roman Josi being a top 10 player, it's,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
a
but-
little
but the
bit of a nuts conversation.
Especially because, like, in my mind, like, I feel like Adam Fox fits better
Me
in
too.
that Josi spot.
I agree.
Now,
if
for
you're going
sure.
to pick, if you want a defenseman there, like, it's got to be Fox.
Yeah. But, hey, Roman Josi's still nasty. And I get,
Still a great player.
like, to be fair, he plays on a way worse team than Adam Fox.
It's true.
And, like,
we have a bit of an older soul deciding these ratings, you know?
yeah, fair.
Yeah, because Crosby's up there, too.
Yeah.
Which I think Crosby deserves it.
I
Like,
It was
agree
great
too.
last year.
the only one, realistically, the only one I would probably really change would be Matthews a little bit higher, Josi a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it goes Pedersen, Sorokin, Shesterkin, Robertson, Kaprizov, McAvoy, Barkov, Marner, Fox, and Braden Point. That's kind of like the 92 tier there.
I'm surprised they didn't pull the trigger on a goalie a little higher, especially when everyone's kind of like Shesterkin is the guy.
Kind of, but he wasn't really.
He
last
wasn't
year,
this
right?
year,
Like,
it's
like
true.
I think it makes sense. Like a lot of
It's
people,
true.
I from goalie rankings I've seen, people have Sorokin,
Sorokin number
being the
1.
guy.
Interesting.
Give me Jacques Hughes over
Hughes.
over Barkov as well.
I know. I will say,
Give him
like,
to me over Barkov.
I'm surprised too that they have Pedersen so high. Like, he was unbelievable last year.
Vancouver guys out there. Eh?
Vancouver guys out
I feel like
there.
a lot of people are predicting him to be like a Hart Trophy finalist this year.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty
it's a
crazy.
couple years
Pedersen's
later
gonna-
than people
yeah.
thought it was
Yeah.
going to be, but
Man,
But based on like body of work, surprised that they put him this high already. Like
Also,
with
he
the
had
likes of
100
Marner.
points.
He did.
also, where's that guy playing after the season?
wow,
We
you're,
do not
are you
know.
predicting something here?
Man,
The
all I'm saying
Vancouver
is-
guys are not going to be happy about
And-
that.
Okay, so I'll read. So the 91 tier, we've got Jack Hughes, Rasmus Dahlin, Tage Thompson, Alex Ovechkin, Eric Carlson, Brad Marchand, Jack Eichel, and Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm actually surprisingly like okay with all of this.
Yeah, I know it's I have solid ratings so far.
Yeah.
I feel
First
like.
Winnipeg Jet. You know, it'd be very sick. And I get they couldn't do this, but like imagine EA just like threw the bag at these guys and said, "We're gonna have like a round robin 3-on-3 tournament with the 94s, the 93s, the 92s,
Wow.
the 91s, and just see
That would be
how,
sick.
how
That'd
it
be fun.
pan out. Because you never know, like the 94s could get beaten for sure.
Yeah.
I think it just goes to show just how much talent is
McDavid
in
has
this
to play
league
by
right
himself?
now.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, or
Play
maybe like the
by
upper
himself.
class. There's like a couple tiers based on
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
overalls is.
So talented though, and like so many young guys on this list already where it's like they're gonna take the next step and be up with the 94s soon.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm just going to
Hughes.
read out the rest of the list. So the rest is 90s and 89s. The 90s are Quinn Hughes, Miro Heiskanen, Mika Zibanejad, Sebastian Aho, Dougie Hamilton, Evgeny Malkin, Steven Stamkos, Mark Stone, John Carlson, Linus Allmark, Jake Ottinger, and that's the 90s. Then the 89s, Tim Stützle, UC Saros, which UC Saros I thought they did a bit dirty. I feel like he should be up
little
there in
better
the
than that, yeah.
consideration. Like at least I think he should be a 90 at least.
Yeah.
But Clayton Keller,
Ooh.
Andrei Svechnikov, Johnny Gaudreau, Brady Tkachuk, William Nylander.
I was wondering
That's the
if
top 50.
they had Brady because that definitely makes sense.
There are so many good players in the NHL.
So many good
Like,
players.
Hearing all these, I'm like, wow, Timmy Stu, if you told me that guy was like a 91, I'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Checks
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he's a guy that now people are like just off of his most recent work, I feel like, are considering him like the discussion now between like Sens fans and Leafs fans is like, would you rather have Matthews or Stützle?
Oh
It's
my
like,
god.
Which is a little wild.
It's a little nuts,
but
but
Stützle looks amazing.
he looks
though.
incredible.
Yeah.
Give me Matthews.
Okay, wait. So who?
10 out of 10 times.
You've seen this list.
Into
Who are
Timmy
some
Stu,
of
though.
the snubs now? Because I'm trying to just think of players off the top of my head that weren't included in the top 50.
I think they did Line a little dirty.
I'm busting out the last.
What's
They
Line?
definitely didn't do Line A dirty, man.
So an interesting one that I thought was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Yeah.
100-point player, not in the top 50.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Guys, but if
But I
there's-
think it's kind of.
No,
I also am like,
no.
yeah, I'm
It's
fine
not.
with
It's
that.
not wild
Yeah,
because if there's one thing that we know about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, doesn't matter what the hell he does in a season, he will never get the right respect that he should get from hockey fans. Never. They'll always just be like, it's just Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Give him like an 86.
Yeah, it's
You know?
fair.
Well,
I would
'cause-
say though too, like
People are always saying like, who like didn't he grow up playing against like Jesse Pollock?
I know. I know. We tied his team 2-2.
based on these,
I got kicked out of the
rankings,
game
though,
for hitting someone from behind.
I,
The only time ever.
I wouldn't be the most upset if like Nugent Hopkins came in ahead of Svechnikov, for example. Like I don't think Svechnikov's a bad player by any stretch, but I also think, and like he got hurt, so it's unfortunate that that happened. But he also hasn't had that incredible season yet that everyone kind of expects in Carolina.
last year, man.
He was good, but he still hasn't had that breakout year that everyone's just like, okay, he's announcing himself as one of the best young players in hockey.
I get that. I think that's kind of fair. I would say like another guy might be like Alex Tuck, like
Yeah.
especially in these video games where like size and things like that matters a lot. Like
Where was Zibanejad?
Zibanejad was like I think 89.
You know who else? Where was Josh Morrissey and all this? Guy had a great year last year.
Josh Norrisy.
Josh Norrisey's more like it.
So
What defenseman would you put him over though?
Move over. Move over, Quinn Hughes.
let's start looking. Let's start looking at. Funny enough, I guess
I would actually categorize them not that far from each other.
So I can
Quinn
start
Hughes is
showing
so
you the
sick.
individual ratings now of some of the things.
From
So
like the position group.
yeah, so left D. These are the lefty they had ahead of Josh Morrissey. Roman Josi, Victor Hedman, Rasmus Dahlin, Quinn Hughes, Miro Heiskanen, Shea Theodore, then Josh Morrissey.
That seems fair.
I think that's pretty fair, yeah.
What's
and,
Heiskanen
and he's
rated?
tied with Shea Theodore,
What's Heiskanen rated?
90. And Josh Morrissey's an 89.
I think they're doing.
That's fair,
I think they're doing
Yeah.
Slavin a little dirty at 88.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think they're doing him a little dirty.
yeah. Like
Ryan
he's-
Nugent-Hopkins, the Hurricanes, they're just not getting the respect.
Clearly, I'm just a bit of a Mikhail Sergachev hater because like there was another video where I just got his age way wrong. Where I was like, "Isn't he like 27?" I think he's like 24.
Oh yeah, he's so young, but he feels
Yeah.
like he's been in the league forever.
Yeah,
I think
exactly. But
don't
like
know
him at the same tier as Jacob Slavin,
Yeah.
Thomas Chabot, Adam Pelech, and
doesn't
Hampus
feel
Lindholm.
right. Also, like I know it's just lefty, so I don't know who's after this 87 group, but this 87 group on lefty is kind of just like you have Nurse and Ekholm at 87. I think that's a little nuts based on Ekholm, maybe not, but Nurse for sure based on kind of.
Not a big Nurse guy.
I think he's solid, but I'd take Brodin, I'd take Morgan Riley, and I'd take Mackenzie Weegar over him in a heartbeat.
Because here, I'll read you the right D.
I
So
was
right
gonna
D is
say.
Cale Makar, Charlie McAvoy, Adam Fox, Eric Carlson, Dougie Hamilton, John Carlson, Alex Pietrangelo, Drew Doughty, Maurice Sider, Chris Letang, Brandon Montour. Brandon Montour, like, it's one of those things
what do you get?
had
What was
such a good year,
what was
but
overall?
88 overall, which, like,
Respect.
Tied
Yeah,
with Ekblad,
respect. Give it
too.
to him.
yeah,
Give it
tied
to
with
him.
Ekblad, Seth Jones, Ryan Pollock, Jared
Doesn't get
Spurgeon,
enough respect.
Noah Dobson, Brent Burns, Rasmus Anderson, Philip Hronik, and Brett Pesci.
Jared Spurgeon is the one where he's probably getting a little disrespected too. I feel like he's probably on the tier with
I honestly, I
Slavin?
don't hate that for
Hangs and the
Spurgeon.
Montours. I don't hate it for him, but I think he's really good.
Yeah, like, because I guess you're basically saying he's like just squeaking into the top 30D, pretty much.
Yeah. Which I think he's pretty easily a top 30 defenseman.
I think Fox is clear of McAvoy,
I think so too.
which
I think Fox is on the level of Hedman.
I think he should be on the level of Josi.
I think so too.
Definitely.
I think so too.
I think give him 2 ratings up, and I'm honestly not I don't really have too many problems. Other Slavin's the one. He feels low.
I think I might move Heiskanen up a little too.
Guys.
Yeah. Big. Oh yeah, like a 90.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like he's on the level
Heiskanen-
with Hughes. I think he's more on the level with Dahlin.
He deserves more respect.
So
This
this
is
is
the-
the one that I think that might be the most interesting, guys.
Okay.
Which is the top 24 under 24. Don't look at
Oh,
it
sorry.
yet.
Okay.
I'm not
okay,
gonna-
okay.
My eyes are not good
Yeah,
enough to see that.
do you want me to read it from the top or the bottom? I guess I'll read from the top because we've got you know some of these already. So the top player under 24, Jack Hughes.
Makes
I
sense.
think that's good.
Yeah, that
that's
makes
a good
sense
thing.
to me.
And he's tied with Rasmus Dahlin.
Yeah,
I think
that-
both of those great.
That checks out.
Great call.
Jack Hughes and Dahlin are at the top.
Yeah.
That checks out.
I think the one thing is I would maybe put Stützle with them.
I think I would too. I think Stützle's
So
at least
they
on
have
the
him.
same
They have
level.
him rated 2 lower than both those guys.
Hmm.
And then in between them, Quinn Hughes.
I think I'd put Stützle up with them too, based on what
Yeah.
I saw last year.
Yeah. Then see, this is where the discussion starts again. Andrei Svechnikov. Svechnikov over Seider, Zegras, Dobson, Caulfield. Caulfield, I believe in, but I get that he hasn't really
Yes.
like done it yet. Like
Like-
I actually think he'll be closer to the top tier than where he is now.
I think so too. That one makes sense to me. Wow, Byram 86. I love to see.
Yeah. So Cole Caulfield, Keandre Miller, Bowen Byram, Dylan Cousins, Matthew Boldy, Jake Sanderson, Matty Beniers, Dawson Mercer, Owen Power, Evan Bouchard, Spencer Knight, Kent Johnson, Matthias Michelli,
Kelly.
Yeah,
Matthias
on
Michelli?
Arizona.
Yeah, he's solid.
Lucas Raymond, Kirby Doc, Seth Jarvis. Your guy.
Wait,
I'd
what's
say
his
Jarvis
overall
at-
Jarvis?
83.
I'd say Jarvis ahead of Doc and Raymond for sure.
Raymond, what a fall from grace.
Yeah,
man,
tough
like-
year for him.
Yeah, which like again, I'm fine with the rating.
Doc
Just-
being this, like, I know 84
He
is
was
not
solid
high.
last year.
He was solid for sure, but like,
honestly, one of the crazy things for me for him is it's crazy that he's under 24.
it is still nuts. that
'Cause
under
he's another
24.
guy
Yeah.
that's been
He's the
in the league
Sergachev guy.
forever.
Where it's
Yeah.
like he's been here forever.
Yeah, but hey,
It's a solid list. Beniers already at an 85 too. I like it.
the one I was also
That's sick.
a little interested by, no Connor Bedard.
Yeah, where is
Wow.
he?
Don't worry, he'll be like. Well,
I'm guessing he's an 83.
That would make sense.
But it's funny then that they put.
Seth
Seth
Jarvis,
Jarvis
and
and
not
not
Connor
him.
Bedard.
But again, how many of these guys are you taking Connor Bedard over?
I think legitimately.
Like if they put Connor Bedard as an 86, I would have been like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like with Boldy
Yeah.
and Cousins and Miller and Byram to start. Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
agree with that.
Yeah, if he doesn't do well.
I think, but like we've already seen
No, I
him
know.
competing against NHL talent. And some of these things. I know it's not an NHL game, but like,
He's gonna be amazing.
yeah.
But there's always there's always the doubt in your mind where it's like, hey, is he being?
I don't have much
I have
doubt,
no
but there
doubt.
are some
You guys have
doubters
no
out
doubt.
there.
There are some
There will
doubters
be some
out there.
people that'll be like, no,
Always.
he's too small.
Well,
and
with
like-
every first overall
Okay,
pick, it
honestly,
happens, right?
And Connor Bedard, we can all attest to this. Not that small.
Well, no, because
He's
he's
really
an
not that
absolute
small.
unit.
Yeah.
He's such
strong
a
still.
he's such a strong
And also,
thick
like,
guy.
His
Thick.
game isn't to mix it up in the corners. Like he is.
But weirdly enough, I've also the crazy part. I was at the CHL Top Prospects game where I did like the ringside thing, and he was like laying the body. It was
Yeah.
yeah.
so he
like,
can do
even
it.
that,
if
he'll
you
do
need.
it all.
Yeah, there you go.
He's got such a strong center of gravity.
Yeah.
to
It's
see
yeah.
it.
He's a little bowling ball out there.
He's just meaty.
We can go like there's top 20 goalies. I don't know if you want to go through goalies at all. There's Vasilevsky, Sorokin, Shesterkin, Hellebuck, Linus Allmark, Jake Ottinger, UC Saros, Frederick Anderson, Thatcher Demko, Carter Hart, Tristan Jarry, Sergei Bobrovsky, Jeremy Swayman, Philip
Bobrovsky's
Gustafson.
getting that playoff achievement rating. I can see.
Yeah, like,
Holy.
that's he
Just
definitely.
let's
got him.
ignore everything else other than that playoff run last year.
Gustafson too with a nice little rating. What's he at 85?
Oh yeah,
86.
friend of the program,
Friend
Philip
of the program.
Gustafson.
Friend of the program.
Yeah, Ilya Samsonov, 86.
Nice.
Miss me with that.
John Gibson, the fall from grace is real here.
What do you
86.
What do you think? Andrei Vasilevsky's still the top-rated goalie in the league. I think that's wrong.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think he's got to be. I put him in the tier with Hellebuck.
It's one of those things where like
Yeah,
I guess
I
they,
think so.
they just like the game. There's so much respect for a guy like that.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like let's see him one more year before we dock him a tier.
So
Yeah.
hard to consider, like, obviously lifetime achievement, but obviously
I just
he's
think
not
it's-
at the
it's
top
so-
of his game either.
No one has been more critical of Vasilevsky than the people in this room
Yeah.
during the playoffs.
Absolutely.
against the Leafs.
And it's so hard because like you see
So
some
funny.
ratings and you're like, okay, that's obviously because of the year they had last year, and then some ratings are like,
Oh,
he's had a good
we're
career.
keeping him at the
we're
top,
keeping him at
yeah.
the top. And where do you kind of have the balance? I wouldn't want to make the ratings because they're
I just think in my mind there is no, even if they left him at that rating of 93, I'd be fine with that as long as Sorokin and Shesterkin were 94.
I agree
think
with
that's
that.
the thing. Is I think
Yeah.
those are the two clear number one goalies in the league.
Yep.
Okay, centers: Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Nathan McKinnon, top 3 centers.
Yeah.
But there was also the argument of like Draisaitl really doesn't play like he's kind of a hybrid.
Yeah. Fair.
So if you want to talk top 3, I guess then after that it's Crosby and Matthews, which I'd probably take Matthews at this point over Crosby, but
He's younger.
yeah.
Left wing.
Wow, Gabe Landeskog hasn't played in a year, still an 88. Love to see it.
So Matthew Tkachuk, Artemi Panarin, Jason Robertson, Kirill Kaprizov, Alex Ovechkin. That's the top 5 with Brad Marchand tied for 5th there.
Yeah.
Marchand. What's Marchand's overall?
91.
I feel like that guy's always just getting dogged a little. I feel like
Yeah.
he's always better than what everyone makes him out to be.
I could agree there. I could see him, but like it'll be interesting to see
Look at Zach Hyman.
no Patrice Bergeron. Yeah, Zach, but like
87. Love
87. But if you look at like Zach Hyman's year last
Great
year was
stats.
nuts. Like
And the
obviously,
year before.
thank you McDavid, but
Yeah.
Still.
Couple
You gotta put the
years.
biscuit in the basket still,
Yeah.
though. Like, it's,
not everybody's been able to do it.
exactly.
Yeah,
Keeps getting
Yamamoto.
better. He keeps getting better and
Yamamoto.
better.
I don't have a ton of problems with this.
I don't either.
Kyle Connor, 89. How do you feel about that?
I feel like he got dogged.
Okay, yeah,
I feel like he should be in that at least a 90. Like this guy's one of the best. Like why is it that some players they get respect all these years and then they're barely docked, and then Kyle Connor has like 1 year where he has a couple less goals and he's
but
at
like
an 89.
he's still like he's tied with Clayton Keller, Brady Tkachuk,
Nah,
Johnny
nah.
Gaudreau.
Like, yeah, I do. I would give him a 90.
Fair.
It's all just. It's so funny. This is like over 1
It's
point.
one rating. Yeah.
No. Like I feel
But
like
it matters.
yeah, it does. I feel like him and Clayton Keller are like probably pretty on par. I feel like I would rather have Kyle Connor than Brady Tkachuk.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I think
So
that's
good,
so
man.
tough.
Connor has been like a 40 goal scorer how many times in his career? Like at least 3.
Yeah, but Brady Tkachuk's just the heart and the soul of the squad.
I love him.
So
I
Patrick
absolutely
Kane,
love him.
Patrick Kane is still up there. He's tied for 89.
Wow, you're right.
Is it
Still
89?
technically top
Still
50.
Technically a top 50 guy. Interesting. There's Line at 87. That seems appropriate.
I don't know about that.
Man, he hasn't done much. Like,
Just wait. He'll put the world on
who are
notice.
you gonna put
He'll put the world on notice.
Would you say Patrick Laine is better than Alex Tuck?
I would rather have Laine.
I know you'd rather have him, but right now, is he better than Alex Tuck?
I think Laine is gonna have a huge year. I'm just high on
That's
Laine
fine.
this year.
You're tiptoeing. Answer the question. Right now, is he better than Alex Tuck? Yes or no?
Luca. Yeah, he is.
What do you think Mark Stone at a 90? 5th best right winger.
I think Patty Kane probably should be bumped down a little too. Like he's probably more of an 87 at this stage.
Yeah?
Like I'd take Pavelski over current Patrick Kane.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree there.
What's Pavelski at? Like an 86?
88.
88. He's one below. Kane.
Wow, good for him.
I know, right?
It's with Kyrou. Like I'd take Kyrou over current Kane. That seems like a legacy rating, which I get.
I'd love to see like a top 35 over 35.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. They should change the World Cup of hockey to the
Yeah.
World Cup
Finally-
of ages.
Yeah, finally
I love
decide
I love it.
when's your prime, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think of the top 50 overall?
I honestly didn't have as many gripes as I thought I would. I feel like in years past I've had more gripes with it, but this seems pretty solid.
I feel like it always turns into this, where there will be a couple snubs and people are just like,
Yeah.
how dare you? And then they look at the list and they're like, yeah, it's like 1 or 2 guys, couple point difference. And then young guys, I feel like, is usually people want young guys different.
Yeah.
Give me Kyle Connor, a little higher. That's what I'd go with. Patty Laine is going to be a 90 in the game next year because he's going to score 45 goals this year. And you heard it here first.
Okay, well,
That was great.
fellas, thanks for joining us. That's our reactions to the rating initially. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let us know, let us know if you just like to see more from rating stuff. Maybe we could break down the teams individually or anything like that. But overall, just Let us know who you think the most overrated player is, the most underrated. Who do you think just hasn't been mentioned and deserves some more credit?